Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Bibbidi Bobbidi Books. My name is Ellie and today I'm going to be filming a reading vlog. So today is Monday and it's the start of a new week, and I just thought I'd pick up the camera and do a little bit of a reading vlog because I don't know, I've got some plans coming up. It's hopefully going to be a nice sunny week and I just thought it'd be fun to film it. So here we are. So yeah, I am currently reading Revelator by Daryl Gregory. So this is a really interesting horror book and I've been really enjoying this one so far. I'm actually pretty far through. I am actually up to page 240, so I'm a fair way through. I've only got about 100 pages left, so I'm really hoping to finish this one this evening. But yeah, this is so interesting. This is a horror book and it takes place in two different timelines. So you've got the first timeline, which is in the past, and we follow a 12-year-old girl. I think it's 1930s, is it? Yeah, a young girl in the 1930s, and she lives in this really rural town, and we find out quite quickly that her family are quite unique and they actually have this religion and they worship this god that lives in their mountain, and she is being brought up to be a mediator between the people and this god that lives in the mountain. And then we follow the same character in the 40s, so when she's grown up, and we see where she is now. We find out that she no longer lives in this town and she's actually decided to get away. She now works as a bootlegger making moonshine and selling it to people. That's how she earns her living. But she ends up having to go back to her childhood home because I think it's her grandmother dies, and that leaves her cousin in a vulnerable position, and so she decides to go back to her hometown to try and support her cousin and perhaps save her from having the same fate that she had as a child. So yeah, it's such an interesting concept. I've not really read any books like it. It almost has a little bit of a sci-fi feel to it. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. There's definitely lots of talk of religion and faith and manipulation, and I just really love our main character as well. She's just really feisty, she has a lot of agency, and she's just really entertaining and interesting to read about, especially because we follow her at different ages. So we see her perspective as a young girl, and we also see her perspective when she's much older and she has the gift of hindsight and perhaps a little bit more life experience. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this one, hoping to finish it this evening. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on, and then I'm just going to see what I fancy picking up, and hopefully I can get quite a lot of reading done this week, but I will keep you posted. Anyway, I am going to go make some dinner and I guess I'll catch up with you later, hopefully, when I finish this book. Hi everyone, so it's quite a bit later now and I wanted to just hop on here and give you an update because I have actually just finished Revelator, and I just wanted to hop on here and gush a little bit about this book because I had such a fun reading experience with this one. This is so good. I don't know why this one hasn't had as much attention as I think it deserves. Like, I haven't really heard many people talking about this story, and I think that it's really well crafted and just really good. So yeah, if you're in the market for a new horror story, I would definitely recommend checking this one out, although I suppose it is a little bit weird, which might be why it's not that popular. I guess it might be a little bit hit and miss with its audience. But if you like a weird horror, if you like something folkloric, and if you like something that leans a little bit cosmic horror, then I would definitely recommend this one because it's such an addictive read. I absolutely flew through the pages of this one, and I think it's in part because of the two timelines and because we're jumping between each timeline with each chapter. It just is so compelling and I couldn't put it down. And each chapter ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger and you have to wait a whole other chapter before you go back to that storyline, and it was just so fast paced and well crafted. I also really enjoyed the themes in here because it really discussed some really interesting topics. For me, the main themes were around addiction and manipulation, with our main character being raised in this really isolated setting in this really tiny town up in the mountains and being kind of forced into this role of a revelator, which is basically like a communicator between her family and this god that lives in the mountain, and how she's kind of raised to believe certain things. She's raised kind of as a figurehead of this religion that her family are involved with, and her choices are kind of shaped by the people that are around her, and she definitely has to come to terms with her own identity within this story. Identity and family are also really big themes in here, with our main character having to really start to question things and start to realize who she is and who her family is, you know, be that her biological family or her chosen family, as it were. I don't know, there was just so many interesting themes in here, and our main character is so just complex and really interesting to read about. I keep saying interesting, but it was. So if you are looking for a horror and you like the sound of any of that, then I would definitely recommend checking this one out. But do also look up the content warnings, because this does have some difficult topics that are discussed in here and some potentially triggering content, as with all horror, so do be warned of that. But yeah, I just thought this was so interesting, and it's definitely going to be a story that sticks with me for a long time. I just know that I'm going to be thinking about this book for ages. So yeah, I had a great time with this one. So yeah, that's me rambling a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to make a little bit more sense when I actually come to reviewing this book properly, but I hope that you get a general vibe of how I felt about this book. But anyway, I am now going to get ready for bed, to be honest, and then I guess I'll keep you updated with what I pick up next. I'll probably go for something a little bit lighter, maybe a graphic novel or something, I don't know, we'll see, but I'll keep you posted. So thanks for listening to me rambling on, and I guess I'll speak to you a little bit later. Good morning, everybody. It is such a sunny day today, so I think my fiance and I are going to go and walk around in some parks, do some exploring, maybe do a little bit of reading outside and just enjoy the sunshine. So yeah, it's going to be a really lovely chilled day, so I thought I'd take you with us. So yeah, let's go and enjoy the sun. Hey everyone, it is Wednesday today. I can't remember the last time that I checked in with you. I don't think I've spoken to you since I went out to the park, which was so lovely. The flowers were all in bloom and it was just such a gorgeous day. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and let you know that I started and finished a new book. So I picked up Lightfall Shadow of the Bird, which is book 2 in a middle grade graphic novel series, and I just love this series and feel like it deserves a lot more hype because I don't hear that many people talking about this one, and it's honestly my favourite middle grade graphic novel series. I just love it. The artwork in it is so bright and colourful and fun, and it's set in a really unique world. It's a sci-fi middle grade, and in this world the sun was actually swallowed by this evil bird, but the people who live in this world managed to save some of the sun's light, this eternal flame, and from that flame they managed to create these artificial lights which now float in the air and keep the world alight. And we follow our main character, who is a young girl called Bee, and she lives with her adoptive father, who is a wizard, and her adoptive father is a protector of this sacred flame. And in the first book we follow Bee as she's trying to find her adoptive father because he actually ends up going missing, and along the way, along her travels, she ends up bumping into this character called Cad, who is actually a different species. He's I think he's called a Goldian or something. He's basically like a mythical being that people no longer believe in. It's a character from the world's sort of history and past, and everyone thought that they'd all died, but Cad is actually the last one left of his kind, and the two of them strike up this friendship and they go on adventures together, and it's so wholesome. It's really, really funny. It's quite sarcastic in its humour, which I just love. And I also really enjoy how this series talks about mental health as well, because our main character actually struggles quite a lot with anxiety. She has a lot of doubt in her abilities, and she struggles to manage that, and I think it's depicted in a really good way in this series, and I just think that's really great to see in a middle grade series targeted at younger audiences. So yeah, I highly recommend this graphic novel series if you've got a little one in your life, or if you're just like me and you enjoy a middle grade series. Honestly, it is so fun and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Anyway, I am now going to go. I'm done with my work for the day, but we've got some people coming over later, so I need to just whip round with the Hoover and stuff before they come. But I'll check in with you a little bit later on with an update if I decide to pick up something new. Hey everyone, so it's Thursday and I have literally just finished work, and I wanted to just hop in here and have a little chat with you because I have started a couple of new books, and I also got a book in the mail, which is very exciting, so I thought I'd do a little bit of an unboxing. So yeah, let's open this together. I'm pretty sure I know what this is and I'm excited. Let's have a little look. This is Fourth Wing, written by Rebecca Yarros. I gave in to the hype, okay? I have literally heard everybody online talking about this book. I don't think I've heard anyone saying anything negative about it. Everyone seems to absolutely love this book and say that it's like the best thing. And so I caved. I gave in to the hype. I was gonna wait for the paperback to come out, but it doesn't come out until November, and I just can't wait that long. And then I was chatting to my friend and she also wants to read this book, so I decided to pick it up so that we can buddy read it together. So yeah, very excited for this one. Honestly, I don't know anything about this other than it has dragons and everyone loves it, but I'm here for the journey and I'm looking forward to finding out what it's about for myself. I think there's a bit of a romance in there, but we shall see. So yeah, that's exciting. And then in terms of what I've been reading, so last night in bed I started a new book, and I started Six Crimson Cranes, written by Elizabeth Lim. So this is a young adult fantasy book, and it is a retelling of the Six Swan Brothers fairy tale. And in this story we follow our main character, who I've forgotten the name of now, but she is a princess and she lives in this kingdom with her six brothers, and she has a stepmother who she doesn't really get on with very well, and I'm assuming that at some point her six brothers are going to get turned into cranes, because in the original fairy tale her six brothers turn into swans, so I'm assuming it's a little bit of a spin on that, but we haven't actually got to that part yet because I've only just started it. I'm up to page 60, and all I can say is that I'm enjoying how vivid the atmosphere is in this book. I really like the colours and the descriptions in this story, and it's so easy to read. I literally sailed through the first 60 pages really quickly last night in bed, and I think this is going to be such a nice sort of cosy and fun fantasy story. So yeah, I'm looking forward to carrying on with that one. I'll tell you a little bit more about it when I get more stuck in. And then today I actually started listening to a book on audio because I was working from home today and I like to have something on in the background. And so I decided to start listening to Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. So this is the second book in a adult fantasy duology, and I read the first book, I think it was a couple of years back now, and it was actually like one of my all-time favourite books. And I think I've been putting off this sequel because I loved the first book so much. I don't know if you ever do that, but I don't know, I just didn't want to finish this series because I love it so much, and I was also just really worried that this book wouldn't live up to the first one, and so I've been putting it off for a long time, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So I started listening to it today, and I've got pretty far through. I'm up to page 94. So I've made a little bit of a dent in this one, and all I can say is that I don't know why it took me so long to get back into this world, because I absolutely fell right back into it. I just love Laini Taylor's writing. She has this really lyrical prose and it's so atmospheric, and I just forgot how much I enjoy her writing, and listening to it as well, it just feels so immersive and poetic to listen to. So yeah, I'm really enjoying being back in this world. In terms of the story for this series, I don't want to give too much away because it's quite fun finding things out for yourself, but essentially in the first book we follow our main character, who is called Laszlo Strange, and he is an orphan of war and he's raised in a monastery, but he doesn't really get on with the lifestyle of being a monk, so he decides to leave, and he ends up, I guess, kind of running away and living in a library, and he becomes a librarian. And he loves it there because he can read all of the books, and he's particularly passionate about this story of a mythical city known as Weep, which actually went missing and got cut off from the rest of the world many years ago, and no one has really heard anything about it since then. No one knows what happened to this city, and Laszlo has always felt drawn to that story and wants to one day find out what happened to this city. And in the first book he ends up getting the opportunity to do some research and to uncover some secrets and go on a quest to try and find this city. And there's actually 2 points of view in the first book. There's Laszlo, and there's also the point of view of a female character, but I won't say too much about her because I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, it's such a beautiful story, and as I said, the writing is so lovely. And in the first book it has this really wonderful romance that I just adore, and it's such a innocent and just sweet romance, and there's some really gorgeous scenes that involve different types of creative magic, and it's just such an immersive world. It is quite heartbreaking though as well. It does deal with some heavier topics as well, but yeah, I'm just loving being back in this world, and I can't wait to carry on. So yeah, that's all of my updates for now. I am now going to go and quickly eat something because I'm going out to the cinema tonight with my friend to see the new Little Mermaid movie. We're having a little girls' night, which is going to be really cute. So yeah, I need to eat some proper food before I go and eat all of the popcorn in the cinema. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll catch up with you probably tomorrow. Good morning everybody, it is Saturday today and I'm just in the car because I'm about to head off into town because I need to do a little bit of a secret shopping mission because it's my fiance's birthday on Tuesday, and I need to pick him up a card and some bits from town. So that's what we're gonna do. I may or may not also go into a bookstore because I'll be in town and it's rude not to have a little look while I'm there. So if I do, I will show you around. And yeah, it's lovely and sunny today. I'm actually really warm, so I'm gonna get going, and yeah, let's go to town and do a bit of shopping. Hello, and just like that I am back home. Town was crazy busy, so I didn't really get much footage, but I did pop into the bookshop quickly and I did take a little bit of footage, so I hope you enjoyed that. I was very good, and I didn't actually buy myself any new books because I'm moving soon and I need to not keep buying things. So I was very well restrained, but it was a successful trip because I went into Clinton's and I did pick up a card for my fiance. I also got some flowers. Look how beautiful these are. They're so pretty. I got these for my friend because we're going to my friend's house for dinner tonight, and I thought it'd be nice to bring some flowers as a kind of like thank you. And I also just picked up some bits in Lush, which I don't know if this is very interesting for you, but I just picked up one of their like face masks. They do these fresh face masks, and I picked up the rose one just for a little bit of self-care. I like their face masks. And I also treated myself to a bath bomb because my fiance and I, Danny, we're basically moving up to a new place. We're going up north to Chester, and we're going to be temporarily staying with his parents for a little while we look for a new house. This is something that I'll probably talk about a bit more in length in the next vlog that I do, but long story short, they have a bath, which is quite a novelty because we don't have a bath in our current house, we just have a shower. So I'm very excited to actually get to use a bath and to use some bath bombs. So I thought I'd treat myself to one from Lush because I love their bath bombs. So I got the Saltwater Soother Epsom Salt Cube from Lush. Just because I hadn't ever seen it before. This is a new one and it smells really fresh. It's like in a little cube shape. Yeah, oh my goodness. It just smells really like clean and fresh, and I just think because it's hot today, that's the kind of vibe that I'm going for, and I just thought this would be really nice and soothing after the long drive when I get to Daddy's parents' house. So yeah, that's my little mini haul. I hope that this has been vaguely interesting to you. I am now going to sit out in the garden in the sun and do some reading, and then I'll give you a book reading update a little bit later on. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying this vlog so far, and I'll speak to you in a bit. everyone. I can't actually remember the last time that I spoke to you, but I just wanted to pop on the camera and just round out this video and give you a bit of a reading update here with Hades, my cat. So yeah, I don't think I've read that much more of Six Crimson Cranes since I last spoke to you. I think I've just read a couple of chapters, and I don't have a huge amount more to say about this one really. It's just quite a fun, nice, easy read. It has quite a fairy tale like quality to it, which I do quite enjoy. I would say it reads fairly young. It is a young adult book, but it does read, I would say, on the younger side. But I'm having a nice time reading this one. But my attention's definitely been much more on Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. So I am now nearing the halfway mark of this one. I'm up to page 222. So I'm a fair way through this one, and I'm just loving being back in this world. The only thing that I would say is that oh no, my battery died. I'm really sorry. I can't remember what I was saying. I know I was talking about this book, which I've been really enjoying. I think I was just saying the only criticism I have is that I've been reading this on audio as well as physically, and I really enjoy the audio narrator's voice. It's a male voice actor, but when he puts on a female character's voice, it can feel quite jarring, because in this story there's quite a lot of younger female characters, and he puts on this really like high-pitched kind of voice which does match the character, but it just feels quite like grating to listen to sometimes. So that's my only criticism, but in general I'm really enjoying being back in this world. I think I said earlier that this is a adult duology, but it's actually young adult. But I would say that this series reads much more much older than this one, for example, which definitely feels like it's targeted at a more younger audience. So yeah, it's just really interesting that you get such variation within that genre. But yeah, I'm just loving this one and I can't wait to carry on with it. So yeah, that's going to bring me to the end of this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I guess I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!